Hey everyone, how are you? Hey Mike, hey Dan.
Hello?
Hi, Rachel. Hi, Dan.
Good, good. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Hey Laura, how are you?
Sorry, I couldn't unmute. Good morning. How are you, Rachel?
Good, good.
Good morning or afternoon, Dan, Mike, Angela.
Hi, how's it
Hello,
going?
hello.
It's going good. You got a lot done the last couple of weeks. Rachel and I have been just, I don't know, just getting stuff done. It's kind of exciting.
Busy time.
So busy, but it's just so beneficial. I love to get a lot accomplished in a short amount of time, and it's just very fulfilling. How about you guys? What have you been up to?
Kind of busy as well. Not sure if you guys know, but we had an in-person all hands 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So we met a lot of folks in person, including Mike as well. But it was in
Nice.
high up mountain, so the altitude wasn't really something that works for most of us. But yeah, got really
Where
good
was it in the
sleep after coming back.
mountains?
It was in Snowbird, Salt Lake City.
Hmm, that's awesome.
Yeah, but it was fun and very busy after coming back from that.
I bet. How many people went to that event?
How many do we have,
There
Dan? I
was
think,
about 350 there.
Wow,
right.
that's a lot.
Wow. I love that.
I'm
Rachel,
the
seeing
owner
which
of Yes, go ahead, Laura. Are
version
even
of the deck are we? Oh, I see it, but I don't know which version is. Is it the one
Yeah,
you sent? Is it the
I'm
one you sent,
presenting.
Dan? Or
Yeah,
yeah,
so this
I
is
know
one
I was gonna just add a quick update.
okay, this is one that's in the outreach drive that's
Okay,
like visible
perfect.
to
Okay, thank you.
everyone. Yeah, I'll share the link. Yeah, the which is the Dan shared as well.
Oh, I already have it open. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Shall we go ahead and get the call started? I think we're 5 minutes in.
I think so. Do we have quorum?
Um, one, two, three, four. We have a four non-seats. One, two, three, four. Yeah, we'll have four non-Linux members. But we don't have quorum. Need
Okay.
one more.
Okay. Ab won't be able to make it. He's traveling. So maybe we kick it off and hope that a little bit later.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so Laura, would you like me to kind of go through the housekeeping items
Yeah,
and
if you
or
wouldn't
we could
mind.
start? Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey everyone, just a reminder, this meeting is being recorded. I really appreciate you all joining the Computational Computing Consortium Outreach Committee meeting for May 13th, 2026. We have a good number of folks here, so we can go ahead and start the meeting. Do we have any? Oh, first of all, some of the housekeeping items. As always, I want to remind everyone that this meeting is governed by the Linux Foundation antitrust policy. Please feel free to find more information at linuxfoundation.org/antitrust-policy, or feel free to reach out to me, Laura, or Mike Purcells for details. This is a transparent, collaborative, and harassment-free space. Our goal is to support data protection and the adoption of computational computing technologies. Do we have any new members here joining us today? I don't see new members. Maybe Leonardo, and are you new to the committee?
No, he's been he's joined in the past.
Okay. Got it. And so if there's no new members, really we still welcome everyone who's returning here, and we're happy to have all of you returning. The next is agenda review. Here's today's agenda. Are there any additions or changes that anyone would like to propose before we proceed? And also note, Mike Purcell will not be here today, so we will not cover executive director updates in today's meeting. If there's no changes, we'll continue as planned. The next is the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. We currently do not have quorum. If there are any corrections or objections, please share them now. No objections. We'll approve the minutes from our April 8th, 2026 meeting. These were distributed in advance, so unless there are objections, the minutes will be considered as adopted. Next are our usual reminders. And first of all, and just a reminder to please post your organization's job to our jobs board, and you can connect with top talents in the community. And also, please do subscribe to our monthly newsletter and submit your announcements via content submission form. Also, follow blog posts and picture blog post ideas via the content submission form. And I'll share the links in the chat and also distribute those forms in the meeting minutes after the meeting. You can also showcase your membership, and you can display the member badge on your website and a link back to the CCC website to highlight your engagement in the consortium. And as always, please stay connected. Follow our CC events calendar to keep track of any upcoming meetups and industry events, and also join our Slack channel for ongoing conversations. Laura, any other additions that you would like to make for the reminders?
I know I'll cover a couple of things under event right now. I think that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. The next is the events, and Laura, I'll hand over to you to walk through the events.
Okay. So on the next slide, we have we do have the upcoming. I guess some of my edits didn't make it in yet. So we do have CC Summit coming up June 20th and 24th. So we hope everybody will be able to join. If you go to, we have quite a few different slots. I think I covered this our last meeting. So I'll quickly that aligns on the CCC mission on the next slide. So I know the CCP, but what I really like the CC Summit is how we can align our goals with the Confidential Computing Consortium to can do adamant what we can. This I do believe is a pivotal year. 6 will be a pivotal getting. We see broader, we see more coverage at not only
Just a sec. Hey, Laura, is this
the
the
founding.
sketch is your sketchy audio? Is that me or is that you?
No, it's she's breaking up for me too,
Oh,
Mike.
is it?
Okay. All right.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for letting me know. I'll go off. Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Is that
we could
better?
hear you before. It was just
You know what?
erratic.
Sorry, it was earbuds. So thank you for letting me know.
Uh,
They're new earbuds, so maybe Apple's not as good as they used to be. Anyway, so I'll just real quickly re-summarize what I was saying before. So I believe everybody knows what the confidential computing consortium mission is, but I have defined it here on our presentation, and you can of course always feel free to download it. But I do think that 2026 is going to be a pivotal year for confidential computing, and I think that we're at the perfect intersection point to actually drive thought leadership across that. So there are a couple of different things that will be focused on this year specifically, and I think that agentic AI, securing the agentic AI lifecycle will be really helpful, along with a couple of other key themes. And so, if you can, I think I didn't put that into these slides specifically, but we do have opportunities around the webinar, and we have created an outline of what that webinar looks like, and we do have someone identified to do the webinar. And then, of course, the industry keynote. And I'm going to be sharing this with the board as well. We're looking to secure one keynote speaker from the industry, and we'd like them to provide an external perspective, basically on what they're hearing from the industry on the evolution of agentic AI, trust, and runtime security. I'd like it to be a VP if possible from one of our member companies. I'm going to be reaching out to each of your teams. Mike, I think, Mike Farron-Jones, I think that Anand Pushpathy would be a great speaker. I was hoping Microsoft would join, but I'll reach out to them separately to see if maybe we could have someone, maybe, I'm not sure who could present from Microsoft, maybe Vikas or maybe even Mark Russinovich if he's not keynoting. But it would be great to have a premier members leadership amplifying the importance of confidential computing. And if those folks can't do it, I can probably get somebody that's in a VP role from our NVIDIA team as well. The panel session.
Sorry, Laura,
go ahead.
which one was that? That was for.
That's the actual keynote, the big keynote that we've all been discussing back and forth in an email thread with all of the premier members.
Okay.
So right now it was suggested to have 3 people in a 20-minute slot, and that I don't think will work well. Just from an audience perspective, we want to engage the audience, and when
Laura?
it's
Excuse me, I'm from Microsoft Milita.
oh, thank you for joining. I was going to call you today.
Yeah, I just wanted to check how I understood correctly. You want Vikas or someone from our team to be in that 25 minutes session?
Yeah, I was thinking for the industry keynote. So we originally had looked at bringing in an external speaker. I had secured that speaker, but there was concern about having that speaker be the voice of the CCC. So I can reposition that speaker to be part of a keynote panel instead as an industry expert, and we can just have one of the premier members, one of our leaders, come in and speak to the CC Summit attendees about agentic AI and how confidential computing can solve for that concern. So I was hoping to maybe enlist someone from the premier membership, either Microsoft, Intel, Google, or AMD as well, or of course Microsoft. So is Mark Russinovich speaking at the CC Summit this year?
I can check for him. I know that Vikas is going. Alec is going for sure.
Okay.
And I can speak with him. Is he interested to present?
Okay.
For Mark, I'm not sure. I guess he is, but I will check in order to not give
Yes.
you.
Yeah, so I think
Um,
Mark would probably want to speak on behalf of Microsoft, I would guess. But if Vikas was interested in speaking on behalf of the CCC, this would be an ask for the Confidential Computing Consortium and how we are working with ecosystem, the entire industry and ecosystem partners to enable confidential computing across the board, not just on the cloud, but on-prem and in sovereign data centers as well.
okay, I am writing the note to ask them.
Okay, great. Thanks. If you want, I can draft what the theme is and send that over to you separately.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. So
So,
that
hey,
go
Laura,
ahead.
I'm sorry, can
Yeah,
you
Mike.
back me up? So I'm a bit, so our keynote, the 20-minute keynote is currently targeted to be delivered by Amit, right?
Well, no. So if you saw the thread of
I saw the 10,000th entry in this thread, but what's the, what's the
well,
summary of them?
the summary of that is Nellie doesn't want Amit to present on behalf of the CCC. She
Okay,
would like it to be a I mean, we can raise, I personally think it's really important that we have an industry expert, external industry expert
hmm
around policy. And that's really plugged into the changes around agentic AI, policy regulation, compliance. I think that's really important for us, and someone that understands the open source community, which Amit has all of those in,
Right,
in
yeah, I
as
know
an
her. So
expert.
yeah,
Yeah, so
so
that, I
it
mean, that
just
was my preference, but again, I
okay.
want to make sure that I listen to the board and that we consider all options. So I would like to have all of those options available by next Wednesday to present, and then we can make a decision as a board.
So basically, the words on the slide are incorrect. That 20-minute keynote, we are recommending a CCC executive, not Amit. And
Well,
Amit's part.
I'm still recommending Amit. So that's still
So you're
correct.
okay, but I think you're losing that argument, right? So
That's
if
fair.
that 20-minute keynote is if Nelly, we follow Nelly's recommendation, that is going to be a CCC person, and Amit's role
Correct.
would be a participant in the panel, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, got it.
Yeah, so I'm still recommending that as the event leader. And so
Yeah.
I understand the concerns and I understand the asks, but I think that a lot of people also agree that we should have an expert from the industry, and there's a lot of for Amit to speak. So I think that we just need to raise both options, but I don't know what those options are because I have not been able to get feedback from anyone basically outlining who else we could have as that keynote person. So good questions. Thank you so much. So again, a little bit of this is in flux right now, which is why I definitely am excited to join the board meeting next week and basically solidify these plans. I'm going to go slightly out of order.
So
So
Laura, just
yes,
before we proceed, a quick
yeah.
maybe another thing for consideration is that we also have a 25-minute breakout session that's sponsored by CCC. And maybe if there's a way possible if the
Yeah.
doesn't plan out, then
Yeah,
we
so
can
no, we're not going to have her as the breakout session. And the reason why is because we want to do more of a technical deep dive. So I do have an idea of, I do have a proposal of what we can do. And I actually have a completely separate deck, which I'm not going to go into because it's very long. But I have a completely separate deck that basically outlines what we'll do for the webinar, what my suggestions are based on conversations with members across the CCC. What we should do from the webinar perspective, the industry keynote, the panel session, which of course the panel would include, now we're thinking about including all the CCC board members or at least 3 or so in that panel. And then we'll ask Mike Bursell if he'd be willing to moderate. If not, we could ask the Linux Foundation to do that for us or someone from Opaque. And then the keynote interview or fireside chat. This would be the keynote panel. It's also known as a keynote panel. We would have, that is where I would think that Amit would be a really great fit if she doesn't do the industry keynote. And then maybe Mike Purcell could interview her there, or someone from Opaque as well. And then the technical strategy session, which is what you were just referring to, that 25-minute breakout session, that's something that we'd really like to lean in heavily on the technical aspects of CCC and the importance of open sourcing. And the suggestion from a few different members were someone like maybe Dan Middleton and Raghu, or we can talk to other members. Anybody on this call, if you have recommendations for someone that isn't already doing a session that would like to do a 25-minute breakout session on CC, that would be fantastic. So are there any interested parties? If so, you can, if you don't feel like raising your hand on this call, that's okay. We're happy to have you share that via email or Slack, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And then, of course, everybody's invited to the reception. We'll be co-hosting it. And the VIP lunch participation, invite will be going out to the Premier members, and you can feel free to sign up for that when that invite comes across. So as you can see, based on our conversation here, there's still a lot of opens that we are ironing out. And as soon as we can get alignment from the board on the strategy and all of the different engagements we have, I think we just have so many opportunities to have our voice heard that there's excitement around that, which is great. And so again, we'll look to kind of solidify those plans with the board next week. So I'm sure there's questions, but shoot, or ask, I should say. I don't see any hands.
Any questions? Yeah, I don't see any hands as well. If no other questions, then feel free to reach out at any time offline. I think that's it from the audience. And Laura, is there anything else you'd like to cover?
Nope, that's it for now. Thanks, Rachel.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the next on the agenda is subcommittee opportunities or outreach work group opportunities. So go ahead, Laura. Would you like to start with or I can walk through the website and landing page changes and what has been done.
Yeah, so yeah, no problem. So Rachel and I have been partnering to work on the website, and Mike Farron-Jones, thank you for stepping up. Ab is not able to join us today, but he has also been instrumental in helping us get this finished. Rachel, I think there we go. Awesome. So Rachel's actually brought up the website so you can actually see what we've done. So Rachel and I, a few weeks ago, we knew that this was an opportunity for us to really just reach more audiences through our website. We worked with Dan and Angela to understand what resonated with the audiences, what they were clicking on, what they thought was important. And we basically took all of that feedback plus the best practices for website creation and design. And we took a stab at creating a new landing page, which you guys saw a couple of months ago. I think it was it February or March? I think it was March maybe. And so then Rachel and I decided we're not going to wait. We're going to just start drafting this out. And so we came up with a landing page, but it wasn't quite right. Didn't quite meet the CCC and Linux Foundation needs. So Ab took that and he actually used an online tool. I won't say which online tool he used, just in case. We're not supposed to tell those things on recorded conversations, but he was able to recreate it in a slightly different format. And this is the output from that ask. So we would like to share this with the membership and get your feedback. And if we could
our goal, Rachel and my goal, along with Mike and Ab, would love to launch this before the CC Summit, right? So we'd love to see what our traffic was before CC Summit, and then of course measure after CC Summit. So let's go ahead and if we could get feedback, I would say by end of next week is probably more than enough time. If you can, you schedule just 30 minutes on your calendar. It won't take that long just to review the landing page. Make sure that the feedback you've heard over the last year or plus that you've been part of the CCC is achieved with this new landing page. That would be super helpful to us. We will then hand this information over to the Linux Foundation, and hopefully they can get that up and running pretty quickly. I mean, it's HTML, so I'm hoping they can just plop it right into their template, and bada bing, bada boom, we've got a new website. So again, if you can get us our feedback as quickly as possible, that would be great. This is a question actually for our team here, Dan. If we get you the HTML by next week, would we be able to get that up by June 1?
We'll need to talk to the design team. And sorry, I didn't realize that I thought you folks were just working on content, not on an actual design. We have a very templatized process here that our web team will support. So if it's an external design, they cannot support that. They just don't do it, period. So what would probably need to happen here is they would take the content that you've produced and then put it into one of their existing templates. So it, might look a little bit different, but they can obviously go with the same color scheme. That kind of stuff is all absolutely fine. Um, just
Yeah, if
because
you
of the
could
way
share
that
this
they
with
work
them,
with
it's
WordPress.
in the deck. If you could share this with them and get so actually that might move up our deadline a little bit. If you have the ability, CCC membership, and I'll send out a reminder email on this. If you could just look at what we sent out, and if you could put the link, Rachel, into the chat, that would be super helpful. But if you guys can take a look at this page, give us your feedback ASAP, then we can get the Linux Foundation to start working on this sooner, because it sounds like there might be some time constraints based on opportunities to optimize our landing pages. So Dan, if you can find out how long that would take, that would be great. Because we would like to, I guess maybe because I work at NVIDIA, I believe in working at the speed of light. If that's possible, that is my goal. So if we could get it, up and running by the beginning of June, then that will help us understand, what the differences were after we launched it, but pre-CC Summit, and then after all the amplification that we hope to do post CC Summit. Like, I'm guessing that it's the end of June, so that would give us almost a month's worth of stats to see if it was just a landing page or if it's actually the social that's driving that engagement. That's kind of my goal. I don't know if that's possible, Dan, but if you could check on your side, that would be super helpful to us.
Yeah, that's great. So we'll share this HTML file with them just so that they can take a look and be like, okay, yeah, we can pull what we need from this. Obviously I'll tell them this isn't final, so don't start anything yet. Um,
Sure.
and see what we can find out in terms of timeline.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dan. So again, this is, of course, a near and dear project to all of our hearts, I think. We all volunteer to be part of the Confidential Community Consortium. So anytime that we spend on this, it's because it's a passion project. And I appreciate every time so much, because I know your time is precious, and you have full-time jobs, plus possibly more than a full-time job, depending on which company you work at. So any feedback you can give us as soon as possible would be lovely, and we'd very much appreciate it. And I think that's it, Rachel, right?
Yes, thank you so much
at least for the landing page.
Yeah, exactly. And this is for a landing page. And then also, given that we have the website here, and then for those of you who haven't seen this, I will just quickly walk through like our design, also the rationale behind that. And so the first fall, after several iterations, we have received many great member feedback on the website design and have incorporated them accordingly. And so really appreciate those insights, and thanks for your time reviewing them. And so starting from the top, and the overall structure of this website was designed to guide users progressively through the computational computing story, rather than just presenting it purely as a technical site. And the navigation and page flow are intended to move users from understanding what computational computing is, to why it matters, and to how it applies across industries, and finally into how the CCC ecosystem operates and how organizations can engage further. So this opening section really focuses on establishing our core message here, around protecting data while it is being processed. And so the intention here was to make computational computing feel more approachable and business relevant. And instead of immediately introducing deep technical technology. And then immediately after that, and we had this roving banners and of member organizations to help establish credibility, and also and showcase and members that are involved in this. And from there, and the website transitions into the industry use cases. So we've gotten a lot of feedback on how important use cases are to the audience. So this section was intentionally placed early because most business and executive audience really wanted to understand more in terms of operational challenges and business outcomes, rather than infrastructure architecture. And then after establishing that industry relevance, the next section really introduces the growing urgency around the AI and modern security threats. So this makes it relevant to the audience regarding the latest technology. And then the purpose of grouping the section here was to reinforce why protecting data and use is becoming increasingly important as AI system becomes more capable. And then the next area separates messaging for business leaders and technical teams. So this structure allows the website to support different audiences within the same experience, while also adapting the framing and language appropriately. The business audience are usually generally focused on risk, compliance, and operational trust. At the same time, the technical audiences are more interested in like TEs, attestation, and deployment architecture. And then from there, the website transitions into how the CCC ecosystem operates through different consortiums, committees, and such as tax, SIX, outreach, and governance activities. And after introducing the ecosystem structure, we'll move on to the certification and trust mark concept. So we place this later in the experience so that it will lead to call to action once the audience understands more how the standards work and how the collaboration is happening behind the scenes. So towards the end of the slide, and not the slide, and toward the website, there are educational resources and documentation section that would give users multiple entry points, right? Depending on where they are in their adoption journey and whether they are looking for executive education, technical specification, or implementation guidance. And finally, the website concludes with membership and engagement call to action, and to drive the membership rate, as well as and leading to any offline conversations. So that is kind of like overview of the refined website. And thanks to all the members' feedback. And also thank you so much, Laura, for your leadership in driving us in this effort. So any other questions or feedback on the website design before we move on to next topic? If no other feedback or questions, so the next topic is the use case. And so thank you so much, Dan, and for revising or for reviewing the case study. So we have a case study from CanaryBit, and this is so Dan has worked with the team and to refine a more educational piece focused on the value and outcomes. And then, so here's the case study for your review. I'll post it in the chat as well. I'd love to kind of collect feedback from y'all, and if you could finish reviewing this by this week, and that'd be great, so that we can go ahead and proceed with publishing this case study. And Also, for any one of you, any companies who are interested in publishing case studies, please reach out to Dan directly or us, so that we could get those content and publish on the website and through our social channels and help amplify those case studies. So that's it for this topic. Any other comments or questions?
Any with the case studies, one of their sticking points has always been the use of CCC affiliated open source projects as part of the case study. Is that requirement still a requirement, or are we relaxing on that? Or did
So,
Canary find a way to make that happen?
so we're relaxing a little bit. There isn't a specific project in here which we do feel would be ideal. But since we were able to rework what they originally provided into a piece that is purely educational and not promotional of any vendor product, we're okay enough with it to proceed, put it that way.
Okay.
Thanks for the discussion. Any other questions or comments? If not, then I'll move on to next section. The next section is marketing. Angela, Dan, I'll hand over to you.
Yep. Thank you. Can we see next slide, please? Yeah, so about the digital performance in April, we had a pretty solid month of activity on the website. We had 9,400 page views roughly and over 4,500 visitors. So in terms of the trend, we still see a decline comparing to last year. That's also because of the lack of content, and we do have a case studies coming up soon, as well as a member announcement. So these hopefully will bring the numbers up a little bit. And then looking at the top content, homepage remains our primary entry point, and also member page and research fund as well. So that's new comparing to last month. And again, and then similarly from last year, our current projects and white paper reports also fits in the top five. And in terms of the traffic resources, direct and referral traffics are our strongest drivers, accounting over 4,000 visits combined. And organic search also remains a healthy pillar for growth with 1,600 visits. And geographically, it's pretty much very similar to before as well. Mainly US leads the way, and followed by strong representation from China, India, and Germany. And on the right side is the device category as well. So pretty much still half and half, but desktop now has roughly 59%. And next slide, please. And turning to our social stats, so April was standing out, and our total audience grew to over 27 followers. And the real difference that we're seeing here is the impressions. So we had a jump in the impressions last month. We had 64% of increase over the previous period, and even better, the engagement grew by 56% with a 500 total interactions. And as we can see from the impression overview graph, around April 22nd, we had a spike, and that's when we posted the OC3 recap video. And that's a specific screenshot was the one that was the most popular throughout the month. So I think we have a really healthy cadence of social posts recently, especially that we've been promoting a lot of the events. So hopefully we can keep this cadence moving forward. And with more content coming in, we can also drive the website stats up as well. So yeah, that's all for my end.
Yeah,
And
thanks
I'll
for, go
just
ahead,
add
Dan.
a little color for going forward, and it's actually great timing with doing a website refresh. We're seeing across, the Linux Foundation and across industry in general, a lot of marketing metrics, web metrics are changing in this new era of AI. Folks aren't visiting websites as much. They're getting more information straight from AI chatbots, that sort of thing. So we are working at the LF marketing department across all of our projects, from CNCF to CCC to many others at revising the way that we track metrics. And so nothing to report right now, just kind of giving you folks a heads up that this is something that we're working on. And the plan is by mid-year in July, we're going to be transitioning some of these rubrics. So, we can still absolutely track web visits and that sort of thing, but we're also going to be looking at more geo optimization and AI metrics. So just something to look forward to in the coming months.
Dan, can you track what, when CCC content is cited by, ChatGPT or something like that? Is that
Not
traceable?
yet, but we will be soon. There are tools that do it. Our team has been evaluating a number of them. The problem is they're so new. Like, I think we've evaluated like 6 or 7 different ones, and they all give different results. And
Uh,
so it's really hard to trust right now. And so that's why we're trying to do our due diligence and figure out what the real numbers are before we settle on something that will be rolled out across the org.
Got it. Thank you for the additional insights, Dan. Mike, do you have any other questions or comments?
nope.
Okay. Laura, anything else from you?
Apologies, I put my earbuds back in. No, nothing else.
Sounds good. And thank you, everyone. Do we have any other business on the agenda? I did not receive any before the call. So if there's no other agenda items, then I think we could conclude this call. Thank you, everyone, for joining and really appreciate your time.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah,
Thanks,
bye.
bye-bye.
Thanks, folks.